morning, and welcome to an edition of Roadhouse Last Call. Roadhouse Last Call. Morning show that tells you about all sorts of stuff. Sometimes, not a lot of stuff, but usually all sorts of stuff. Today, we have a nice little up. We have fan favorite, room favorite, SoFi blowing out, guiding up. Every analyst on the call saying, wow, congratulations. Wow, congratulations. Wow, wow, wow. Congratulations. Bender, do you feel congratulatory?
I'm just wondering when it's going to shit the bed again.
No, Bender. No, Bender.
I
No.
know.
No.
Oh. No, I mean the numbers were really, really good, and I think the that quarterly membership growth number kind of. I mean, if you don't look at that and go, holy shit.
Right. It's like
That's a bunch.
I had to start the show, but Goldman Sachs dude was asking the question, how you do this.
I know when he was asking that, I was like, no, don't tell him.
He's like, how you do this?
And they gave the perfect response, which is, well, we really haven't changed anything. We're just doing what we've been doing, and the numbers are coming. Versus, here's our secret sauce.
Yeah. So okay, so we have this gap after a pretty much flat to down day yesterday. We have a lot of tickers that are up pre-market. We have the SPY machine back over the 390. We do get data 30 minutes after open, so we do have that to deal with. It is some data that can indeed move the market. So it could be one of those things to where we get this gap and then they fill it back down and then we get such as and whatnots. That's entirely possible for the day. I don't have, really a whole hell of a lot other than globally the markets were on fire. I think that there's more and more sentiment that, odds are that Fed is going to come in, not necessarily dovish, but much less hawkish with some of the other data coming in that is pointing towards inflation kind of easing back a little bit. We'll see. Only time will tell what we are guessing and what the actuals are. I do know that on individual names, for the most part, yesterday flow was bullish. There were some lines on the indexes that were, I would say, neutral to bearish as far as that, but individual names were getting really, really great flow. Today for me is going to be a day in advance of the Fed. Tomorrow is going to be a profit-taking day. I'm going to be taking, profits across the board. And getting ready for whatever the Pink Polo Boys want to deliver tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. So that's my plan. That's where I'm sitting. Binda, what you got in them lines?
All right. Yeah, that was very brief.
It's brief, just because it's like
cool.
I know it's like because if we had the data come out already, then I would have more to talk about. But I don't know that you guys want me to go through car sales in Zimbabwe. I don't know.
Right.
Or I'm sorry, Zaire. I don't that is South Africa actually. I don't know that that's uber important.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're currently sitting 39.24. The first chart that I'm going to show, I'm going to post here. That's the daily. And you can kind of see, I show that chart first just so, we all kind of see where we're at and, this sort of potential, resistance that we're coming into 39.20, really up into about 39.50. And here's a 30-minute And so you can see there's also, you know, based on that chart, there's also, you know, resistance at this level, just going back to, you know, the end of September. So you can kind of see that there. As far as the levels go, just above where we're at now, you know, this 39.25, kind of right where we're at, we've been talking about for a couple days as, you know, being an area of interest. This was also, you know, the highs from last week. And just above here, 39.40 to 39.50 being that area of support and resistance, or area of interest. You know, back in August. Before that, it was late July. And then if you zoom way out, it goes all the way back to, you know, there was a lot of action in here last year. But you get above that 39.40 to 39.50 area, there's some resistance up at 39.80. And then above that, you're sniffing 4,000. Levels below, if we get a pull on the open, or, you know, data comes out and we start moving south, obviously the round hole number, 3,900, but 38.89 is the 50 MA on the 60-minute. That's one to keep an eye on. If it doesn't bounce there, you got the 5 MA on the daily at 38.75. I would expect that you will see, you know, a reaction there. It shouldn't just, you know, depending on how the data is, obviously, but, you know, if we're not just straight up cratering, then you would expect bounce there. If it gets below 38.75, you start to look at 38.41 is the 50 MA on the daily. And we have bounced off that, you know, several times. So that's really, you know, kind of the, I would say, near term, you know, last stand. But 38.90, 38.89, 38.90 on any sort of pullback is really that key area to watch. See if we bounce, and, you know, it's only 40 points, 30 points. You know, that's kind of the first key area on a pullback. And then above that 39.50, start looking at 39.80.
Thank you, Bender. So, how you feel?
I feel good. I mean, you know, we've had some pullbacks along the way, but, you know, if you look at that daily chart, you know, there's been a few days where it hasn't, you know, we've had a few days where it hasn't been all that much fun. But, you know, really from touching the bottom of that parallel channel, which we wicked on that drop to whatever, 34.80 or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. You know, since then, we held the bottom of the channel, and we've been working our way up towards the top of that channel. We crossed the midpoint. And, you know, we've kind of all along the way, I think we've said, you know, the levels that we need to hold and clear or whatever to start, you know, the march to 4,100 near the top of that channel. And that's, at least for now, that's what we're doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So things I'll be watching for today, kind of same as yesterday. I want to see the flow around Apple. Amazon also, be curious to see how that flow is kind of going. We can't forget that Amazon ZR was absolute trash. That can't go by the wayside and just ground and pound calls on it all day long. It's like that ER was not good. On the flip side, you have the metaverse or the murderverse down pretty substantially. I tried to take a shot at it late last week. I'm going to kind of look and see if there's an opportunity there on the face page for ups today. I'm going to be watching and seeing what we get over there, because I think that there's a real boom at some point to the upside there that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's something that we can capitalize on if we keep our eyes open on it. Outside of that, you know, profit take, scalp, position for tomorrow is going to be the game plan. Oh, I'm sorry. I almost forgot about Mrs. Stockington. Stockington, tell us a story.
Oh man, how are you gonna forget me? I'm over here.
I said
But
almost. I said almost. And really, we're only 10 minutes into this, so we are rapidly moving through the morning.
that's true. It wasn't even time for me yet. All right, let's go. What do we got? Okay, so I put in some new triggers here. With the move up, Nvidia. This was a fib I had at 138.95. It's worked as resistance in the past, so see what it does up there, and then use this line that it was bouncing off of pre-market for support as a potential put trigger at 137 flat. Tesla, I have that one smashed in between two larger dark pools. We've got 233.97 to the upside, and then we've got 231.65 as a dark pool below. Apple, I just posted a pretty basic 1 hour chart where it broke a bull flag nicely to the upside, crossed both these bigger dark pools below. So now it has $468 million sitting above at 155.88. And then, so looking to see what it does up there to potentially take up a long. And then 155.1 break to the downside for potential short on Apple. But I like that bull flag break. I shared Mel's SPY Phantom print update from yesterday. So we did hit the first one to the upside. So we have a few more above and then some of those ones below. But I believe that's all I have for today.
All right. The other thing I'll say is let's keep an eye on pot stocks also. They came in and tried to play with Tilray and CGC. We saw them do butt stuff with GME yesterday. So a lot of those memeish things, and it becomes interesting to where all of these tickers that have been shorted heavily, as we get more and more upside momentum, the odds of somebody getting caught with their pants down being overly short and overly lever short becomes that much more likely as far as getting some squeeze-ish activity on some of these names. So let's keep an eye out for that type of stuff. Some of these oddballs, even Nikola got a little bit of call flow. It's like there's going to be some opportunity to scalp some dumb shit along the way. So yeah, let's keep our eyes open for opportunity. Let's work together as a team, and let's do good. Let's do good. Bender, you got anything else for the peoples?
Elon did post a graphic on Twitter that was a dog, a certain dog with a Twitter cape on it, standing next to a pumpkin with the Twitter logo carved into it. So if you are that degen, there may be some pumping of that.
Yeah, I can see that. They started doing that over the weekend. There was some buzz, if you will, about the Doge.
Yeah.
But he still has a couple of open investigations or things on him for the Doge. I ain't fucking with no Doge.
I'm not saying anybody should. I'm just pointing it out for those of you that.
Yeah, no, I think it's fair to point
know.
out. I think it's interesting. It's like I think what people have to remember, and I hope that this happens. He took the company private so he could do what needs to be done without the scrutiny of investors and Wall Street, breathing down his neck while he revamped this. He has aspirations to make it something so much more than what it is. And I think it would be naive to think that the Doge wouldn't be a part of that in some capacity, being that it is what it is. So I don't know. I look forward to see what Twitter looks like in the next 3 to 5 years, because I think it's going to take that long for him to reinvent it before he puts it back out there.
It is Doge, by the way.
It's a Doge.
No, it's not.
Of,
I know what it's a
picture
picture
of
of, but that's not what it's called.
It's a Doge. It's a Doge.
You don't get to call it whatever you want.
I really do.
The founders
I
get to
really,
make that
really-
name.
Kind of. Kind of. Kind of. But you know what? It's like I don't have I don't think I have any. No, I guess I do have some Doge. Huh. I guess I do. I have to talk to the lady about that Doge. Anyways, that's all I got. We got 25, 24 minutes still open. Be aware of the Doge. It has the ability to bite back. The Doge can get you. It can hurt you. It can also be your best friend. But this particular Doge, I don't think is all that loyal.
Okay. I'll see you in a few.